Okay, guys, welcome to WrestleSlam episode 5. It's probably the hottest day of the year in Cork, and we've managed to get all four together. We were all kind of busy today, but thankfully we all gathered, and I really appreciate it. I'm joined as the usual crew, Phil, Jonathan, and Matt, the three amigos, and myself. Lads, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. WWE, a lot of people not liking it. For some reason, I'm liking it though. I'm liking some of the storylines. Especially the last 2 weeks. I'm obviously liking the team of Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP. I heard MVP signed a new contract as well, which is pretty interesting. But first of all, lads, I'm going to go to Phil. Obviously, Raw, SmackDown the last 2 weeks. It's been immense. Obviously, a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff. Phil will say how it is. What do you reckon of things at the moment?
I think they're at a point where they have to do something.
Yeah.
It was just so unwatchable that we just couldn't watch any of it. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
So last week's Raw I liked, but I don't know if I actually really loved it because of how different it was.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to like this kind of match, interview, match. But last week's show was sort of broke the whole visual. What's the word? Visual kind of representation of the show.
Yeah.
So I thought that the show was borderline 98-ish Attitude Era style kind of nonsense. There was a lot of nonsense stuff on it.
Yeah.
A lot of shop TV type stuff as well.
It's kind of like, let's throw this at the wall and see what happens here. And if it sticks, we'll go again next week.
Yeah.
Johnny, what do you reckon?
But the underground thing. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're okay.
I was going to say this underground thing is something that Shane McMahon's wanted to do for 20 years.
Definitely. Like, if that had a bit of structure to it, like, I like the general idea, and I'll give him credit for, trying to think outside the box, do something completely different. Like, I've heard that the initial idea was like Shane. This was supposed to be like his rebellion against Vince because business, our ratings and everything had gone down, and the public perception of things has gotten so bad and everything. So like this was Shane's, underground way of kind of upsorting Vince. But like there just doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. Like even the fights themselves, I mean, there's no tournament. It's not like doesn't seem like they're fighting from what, it's just happening for just no reason, So like, if I liked the general idea, I liked how it looked. I thought it looked really great. I really liked Lashley in that environment as well. It gives him something new and fresh and gritty to do as well. So I really liked him in that environment. So there's pros and cons if they actually give it some structure and, made an objective of what we're going to do with it rather than just, throwing it out there just for the sake of it. It could have some legs to it, but that's kind of, I find, the overall direction of things. Like, I'll give him credit for trying to think outside the box, like with the Retribution thing, but it's the execution of things that's just pretty poor at the moment.
Yeah. Matt, what's your take, my man? Obviously, you know the ins and outs as always.
Yeah, well, cheers, Jerry. But anyway, when I saw Raw, I kind of agreeing at times. I feel like that Vince is just being desperate at the moment to try and get viewers back. I don't know what to say really about the Raw Underground because I don't think any of us said, what Vince should do? We should do like a Fight Club style like segment every night on Raw with strippers. We definitely want to see that, which I don't think anyone saw. Because when we saw it, we all thought, oh, this is random. Like what Jonathan said, this is something that Shane wanted to do for a good while. But besides that, I am liking about Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre's story. That's kind of one of the only few matches of SummerSlam I am looking forward to. Kind of want to focus on that side about how, Randy's still looking down at Drew McIntyre being this chosen one gimmick he once had. And I do like, Sasha Banks and Bayley's like takeover of the women's division as both champions. I see them both being champions for a good while till WrestleMania. I still like to have a good rivalry, but like to be honest, I said before I haven't really been following Raw as fully as before. But I don't see this whole underground thing lasting very long. Like maybe we're gonna get like a few storylines, but maybe Vince might cop on and be like, okay, I don't think anyone's really buying this. Like it's like what Phil said, they're tossing stuff at the wall and whatever sticks they're gonna try and
like Vince McMahon usually has a 6-week rule. If he's bored after 6 weeks, he'll just go a different way.
Yeah. And what do you reckon of this Retribution stuff, lads? I think it's actually pretty cool. These guys are extreme, you know what I mean? Obviously I think we know there's a female involved, there's a couple of lads, but
there's
looks
2
extreme.
girls, there's 2 women there.
Yeah, it looks like even cutting the ropes in the ring and stuff, like they're not messing about like you know what I mean? Is it going to be something like where they're going to make such an impact? It'll be as big as the Shield. Is it going to be, it looks really good, I think.
It depends who it is.
Yeah. Are they above the age of 18? They're all freaking tiny.
Yeah.
That's again, I like the general idea. Like it's cool, it's different and everything. But Christ almighty, couldn't they have gotten a few better people? I mean, they're tiny and they're supposed to be intimidating. I mean, I suppose, yeah, they've baseball bats, tips and weapons. But Christ almighty, Todd Phillips and, Byron Saxton probably could have taken those lads out. Come on.
I think they're just decoys until they figure out who it is.
I know. Next week, they'll all be 3 stone heavier next week.
Probably.
Who do you reckon's in the group? Who do you reckon's in it?
I mean, I think I'm saying about Raw Underground. I think this is kind of a desperate move to see where this is going to go and how people react. But I'm reacting well to it. I'm not really invested in who it is. Maybe it's that's under the age of 18, as Jonathan would say. That's now back in my mind. Now I can't look at them the same way. But yeah, it's a good setup, coming in, trashing anything. But let's just hope they won't make a clone of Nexus, if you remember those lads.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I reckon it's Mean Street Posse.
I can tell you who I definitely saw on SmackDown.
Who do you reckon, Phil?
Ali. It was definitely him.
Yeah. Everyone's saying Ali. Everyone is saying Ali.
100%.
Yeah.
But Ali is he's pretty tall, isn't he? He's about 6 foot. There's no way any of them are 6 foot.
You never know. Though.
Camera magic.
Well, maybe Ali has, those the Velcro lodging up the boots or something, making himself look taller or something. I don't know.
Definitely. And as you touch base, obviously, on Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, it's definitely the best thing for business when you hear Drew and Randy, set to battle. I think that's obviously a great move.
Yeah. I think that McIntyre should retain his belt at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Me too.
I would like to see, I don't know how you guys will feel about this, but I would like to see at least this rivalry lasting about another 2 or 3 months, because
it could,
I feel like they have a good chemistry. If Randy wins, it'll be good motivation for Drew to actually come back at Randy, because at the moment, whenever Randy Orton's a heel, I feel like he's always the best heel. And even if Drew McIntyre gains, maybe Randy will come back to him as a sneak attack or something like that, and maybe they'll build something. I like both Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, so it'd be good to see them, to see how far they come from, Drew McIntyre being the chosen one, know-it-all, to Randy Orton, as the legend killer. So you can look back on it in same with this. So a good rivalry I see after this.
Yeah. Does Otis still have Money in the Bank?
He does indeed.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know what they're doing with that, to be honest.
I had actually totally forgotten.
I didn't even think, because sometimes they lose it. The way it's gone, it just disappears. But surely he's going to cash in on something.
And he's going to lose. He won't win at all. There's no way he's winning.
Oh, I don't know. Things are pretty weird at the moment. So
yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if he did.
I honestly think that they need to do a draft, because there's no main eventers on Raw anymore.
I read a little rumor, right, that Otis is going to run out, hand the briefcase to Mandy Rose, and that she's going to cash in and somehow win a women's championship.
Ooh, that makes sense.
Bizarre.
That definitely makes sense.
It's bizarre, but think about it. It could happen.
She's that in love with her. Why not? You know what
There's
I mean?
a storyline there.
maybe a storyline. I don't want to be mean, but maybe a storyline like Mandy Rose is still using Otis to get what she wants. Maybe.
Yeah, she got a new look. New look.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Mandy, it looks like they're doing a hair versus hair match with her.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
What's that?
Yeah. Hair versus hair with Sonya.
Yeah.
I think both of them can rock at least a buzz cut look, maybe. So
I think Sonya's going to lose.
I think so too.
Yeah, definitely.
But keep an eye for that.
I feel like we're mostly focusing on appearance than actual wrestling at this point. But anyway.
Yeah, that's the way it's gone. Obviously, SummerSlam's around the corner as well. Like, what do you reckon of Alexa Bliss, lads? And, of course, Bray Wyatt. It's an interesting little thing going on here at the moment.
It's different. But when I say it's different, they seem to have done it before. It's sort of, I know it's not the same, but it kind of reminds me of like Mankind and Goldust.
Yeah.
When they were kind of that odd couple in 1996, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this kind of freaky character going after, it's kind of just Beauty and the Beast kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I like it, but again, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier on. I mean, they've only done 2 segments together so far, so I suppose it's probably unfair to judge too harshly. But like what they did on SmackDown this week, where Alexa was just in the ring, after Bray was already making his entrance, there was no context or reality to it at all. Like, I like the idea, and I'd like to see where that goes. But again, it's just the execution. That seems to be kind of the common theme at the moment. They have good ideas, but they're just, I don't know, everything is a little convoluted, and I just a bit more sense and a bit more context to things.
Because there's so many voices.
I mean,
so many voices.
I did like last week of SmackDown how, when Bray said no one is safe, and it turns out to be Alexa Bliss, that they jumped to the women's division side and like entering that area. But when it came to Braun Strowman, saying that I can't remember what he actually said, but you trying to distract me by using Alexa is not going to work. I'm still coming after you. I just hope that, okay, we're just going to leave Alexa Bliss. We're just going to focus on Bray and Braun Strowman. Because I would like to see maybe Alexa Bliss might join The Fiend in some way, maybe costing Braun Strowman at SummerSlam as an ultimate distraction. Maybe it's like what Jonathan said, maybe a good, proper execution to end this storyline with Bray and The Fiend. Because I'm now officially invested in it. Like, at the beginning, I was like, nah, it's like, I don't know how to feel about this. But now I'm like, look, they know what they're doing. Hopefully, like Jonathan said, good execution.
Definitely. And like SummerSlam is shaping up nicely, lads. I think it's actually the last kind of pay-per-views, they were good and not good, but like SummerSlam actually looks like it could be decent.
Yeah.
Hopefully no cinematic matches.
Yes. Yeah. I definitely second that anyway.
I kind of want to make an announcement. I just want to make an apology about saying the last podcast, I think these cinematic matches might work. I apologize. I think they're ugly bad. I was a young, naive 25-year-old. See, I have the white background to prove that I'm serious about this apology.
I'm going to drop a bombshell here, lads, right? Obviously, we dedicated a show, but do you reckon The Undertaker's going to come back for one match? Because I'm seeing stuff again.
100%.
Himself and AJ.
I mean,
100%.
With The Undertaker and AJ, like if it was actually like an actual match in front of an actual crowd, I know that we couldn't do anything about it. That would have been a good way for him to end it because he has good chemistry with AJ. We saw in the documentary, but maybe bring The Undertaker back for one more good match, at least one more good match in a proper way. Because I think we all don't want his last match to be a cinematic style match. So
yeah. We have to mention, obviously, Sheamus. What's going on with Sheamus? Obviously, he made that amazing comeback. Obviously, we spoke about Sheamus on podcast 3. Obviously, if they use him right, he's always fantastic. Obviously, Sheamus is doing his own stuff, but I think they're going to try and team him up with Matt Riddle. I don't think that's a great move, in my opinion.
I really like
tag team on SmackDown. That's just it. That's just the end result of it. There's just no tag team.
Yeah, what happened? Go on.
Oh, no, okay. Take it away, Matt.
Oh, I was just going to say, what actually happened at the end with Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy? Because I think they just went a different way with it.
Yeah.
Oh God, right.
Yeah.
Because I remember they had like the pub fight and Jeff won and that was it. And I was like,
Yeah, that's it. They just went away with it. Yeah.
Madness.
Him and Matt Riddle had a really, really good match on SmackDown this week, I thought.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. But at the same time, it kind of magnifies, one problem that they have at the moment is that, like, that could have been a match, even a SummerSlam match. Matt Riddle and Sheamus, that's quality stuff. The two of them are absolutely fantastic. And it's just, it's just thrown out there. No rhyme or reason, means absolutely nothing. Like, and just make things mean something again. Build to things. They're giving away so much. Where the matches. I mean, how many like Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens matches have we seen before? And
even Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. That's coming on.
Yeah, like nearly everybody on the roster has wrestled each other. I don't know how many times on TV, and this isn't anything new. This has been a problem with years, but I think it's just really being amplified because of there being no crowd. So, like, I think with Sheamus, I don't know, is putting him in a tag team the right. I mean, they've done that before with Cesaro, so like. Yeah. Get creative. I mean, he's one of the best talents they have there. Maybe do something new.
Yeah, no, I'm not for it, to be honest. I think, like, obviously, the Bear were a great tag team. Even when that first came together, I was like, there's no way Cesaro and Sheamus will work. But they were a fantastic tag team. Like, probably, one of the best I've seen in a long time. But definitely with Matt Riddle. No disrespect to both lads, because obviously I love Sheamus and Matt Riddle. It's they need to be doing more more solo stuff, in my opinion, singles matches and stuff.
The thing is, they're stuck with King Corbin, who's just terrible.
But what happened with King Corbin? Like, he was pushed for so long, even beating Kurt Angle at WrestleMania.
I think it's to the point where you can only do so much with him that it just becomes repetitive and people get sick of it.
But he got that unbeaten run, and he was unbeaten for a long time. I know he's just losing matches left, right, and centre. Obviously, I think they got it wrong with King Corbin, to be honest. I liked him.
Yeah, Were you saying something there, Matt?
I was just going to mention about King Corbin was like, I'm just going to say this now. I wasn't really a fan of King Corbin, or like Corbin when he came to WWE. I was a fan of him when he was on NXT, but now they're just like jumping around as him, like being this all-powerful, like up-and-coming wrestler. I feel like they're just like tossing him with random superstars at this point. Like with Elias and then Roman Reigns, even Kurt Angle. I think they feel like they're picking a name out of the hat at this moment. Like, all right, Corbin's going to have a rivalry with this guy and then this guy with no build. So that's
why. Is Elias injured or something?
He's going to be out for a month. He'll be out for a month.
Yeah, there you go. Like, even like the whole. You remember back in the day when Triple H got injured or someone big got injured, you'd have that big build up there on the way back and stuff. Like, Elias will just turn up now, probably in a car, and start singing again. Like, he's a great singles wrestler. Like, I think Elias is the man. Like, even when I got the interview in New York, like, I think the man is incredible. Like, he's just,
I reckon he'll be back at Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I hope so.
Maybe, yeah.
Just one point on Baron Corbin as well. Like, he's one of the main guys from this generation that I really like. I think he's been one of the guys that's been victimized the worst of the booking system. I mean, just what we were talking about. He's done job after job, working against everybody on free TV. He's one that flies under the radar because that's kind of the way that he works, because he's a true heel. Everybody goes on about MJF being a great heel and everything, but just the fact that people say he's a great heel shows you that, maybe he isn't quite as, because he's still entertaining in a sense. So a lot of people still like him. Whereas people just seem to think that Corbin's shit. But that's because, he wrestles that methodical style. He's not supposed to shine. The babyface he's working with is supposed to shine. Yeah. But get rid of the King Corbin. Sorry?
It's all about representation, like how you present him on TV. Like,
100%. Like the King Corbin thing has run its course. They need to reinvent him now as well. And he's just got so much potential, and he's come so far with his promos and everything when they're not scripting him like that. that cringe backstage when they did with him and Sheamus on SmackDown. I'm so sick of those damn things as well. So like, again, just give him something fresh, let him be him, and he can go so far. I really see big things in him if they just take the shackles off of him.
Yeah, they've messed him about big time. Now we have to switch quickly to NXT, boys. NXT obviously is, ratings are still good. Obviously, All Elite Wrestling have overleaped the ratings when it comes to NXT, but they are obviously, there's still some good storylines there. Obviously, we've seen a few wrestlers kind of disappear for a bit. Obviously, you know what I mean, the Raw and SmackDown brand are using NXT a bit more. Obviously, there's a few wrestlers coming in for battle royals and stuff. But Phil, what's your take on NXT at the moment? Obviously, Adam Cole is in the headlines again, maybe for the right and wrong reasons.
I actually like that thing with Pat because it gets people talking. I actually really enjoyed the NXT this week. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Keith Lee, I think, is going to lose his belt.
Oh, he's making a step up 100%.
Yeah, I think the thing with Adam Cole is obviously filler because maybe they're doing what I said, that they don't want to bring him up because of crowd.
Yeah. What do you think of Rhea Ripley's new look?
I don't like it.
Yeah, I think even
I think it's too clean or something.
Yeah, and like she lost obviously the number one contenders match.
But I think she's going to win a battle royal on Monday to fight Bailey at SummerSlam.
Yeah. And obviously Keith Lee's still winning. Obviously he had a non-title match recently as well.
Yeah, he's fighting Killer Cross.
Yeah, like Killer Cross can beat him. Obviously since he's joined NXT, everyone's on about Killer Cross. Like he's actually serious impact. Like,
yeah, I remember like seeing his match with Tommaso Ciampa. You know, when Killer Cross was just like taking out like jobbers and like no names. But then when they had a match and took Tommaso Ciampa out, we're like, yeah, this fella's a real deal now officially.
Yeah.
He's a good example of
old school
character. Not so much old school. Well, yeah, in a way, but like of strong characters still being the driving force of what makes the business work. Because how many matches has he had so far in NXT?
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah, very little. I mean, all the buzz is about the character, his presence, his presentation, everything. And see, that's kind of where the business has gotten away from then as well, like where it's all about the in-ring action, move for move, all that type of thing. So he's a really good example of that. And as long as they use him right, should be big things for sure for him. I can see him being a big main roster star.
They should, especially with the rivalry they're building up with Keith Lee, like almost every week, as in that shit is about to go down with the two of them. Like, so
yeah.
It's huge. We have to. Sorry, go on, Phil. What were you saying about? Sorry,
I was just going to say, can I get the lads' thoughts on this Pat McAfee thing, because it's pretty big. Like, I mean, I think Pat's an arrogant guy who I just want to slap, which is what I love.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. Like he's probably terrible in the ring, but like he's just so entertaining to watch.
Is it bad that I don't know who he is? I obviously seen him on the website, but is he a baseball player, NBA player?
He's the guy that was at
player. I think he was a punter or something.
He's a punter for the NFL.
He got kicked. He was the guy at WrestleMania when we were there that got thrown off. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Remember they came along and told him, "Go, you need to go out of here."
Yeah.
What I think is, like, I both like, if this doesn't make any sense, I both like it and don't like it. I think it's because the reason why I don't like about it is the fact that, he's a bit of a celebrity, he's a sports athlete, and him being tossed with Adam Cole, who is one of the best wrestlers that we have now, without him with any wrestling experience, can go one way or another, especially, having celebrities in wrestling matches. But then again, Adam Cole is one of these fellas that if he's wrestling a broomstick, he'll make the broomstick look good, if that makes any sense. What I do like about it is, like, WWE is officially knowing for a good while NXT is probably the best show they have right now. And now that they have, like, a sports athlete, someone well-known in the NFL area coming on, and even socially, he's on Twitter calling out Triple H, calling out Adam Cole. people might get invested in NXT. They might get more invested to NXT than WWE, because non-wrestling fans still think of WWE as either Raw or SmackDown. Now they're going to look at NXT and be like, okay, this is the big deal of WWE now. So again, I don't like how, I'm not looking forward to how the match is going to turn out, but I am liking how, they're promoting it and promoting NXT. Again, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, no, it's kind of drawn towards the casual fan.
And it gives Adam Cole some good mainstream exposure as well, because Pat McAfee is, a pretty big mainstream. So and it's gotten a lot of mainstream coverage, like from TMZ and everything. So it's really good. And I think it's the opposite of what I was going on about earlier. The execution of it has actually been really good on this. I think they've done it excellently. I mean, people like Booker T even wondering, the initial angle that they did on McAfee's show, he was even wondering if it was a work or not. So when you can work the workers, it's done pretty well. So I'm really liking it, and I hope they keep it going pretty well, because it's been pretty solid so far.
But that's because Triple H and Shawn Michaels are involved in it, to be honest.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
I know this is one to say, but do you think Randy Orton backstage might have a problem with, Pat McGah's finisher move is called the punt, or no?
No, not really.
Okay.
Randy would probably bitch slap him at some stage, though.
Actually, just speaking of Randy Orton and NXT, there was another story about him the other day where he was on about NXT. Did you read that? No.
Yeah, I seen it. He was kind of passionate about it in a way, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he was on the ball. I don't want to see kick out.
Yeah. No, he's right. Randy makes sense. Randy's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. Now, we just have to touch base quickly. We have 2 minutes. All Elite Wrestling. Phil, they're close to 1 million viewers every week.
They're slowly getting better, the shows.
Yeah.
There was a time where they were leveling, they were just okay. But last week's episode was really good.
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff was on it.
I've seen that.
I've seen it. What I think is one match in particular. I'm probably gonna get backfired or nothing, but I think Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin was probably the best AEW match this year by far. Simply because it looks like Jon Moxley is facing his younger self in some way. About Jon Moxley tossing everything he does, and Darby Allin just keeps getting up. He lost. But this is going to make Darby Allin look good. And hopefully we'll get him to talk. And especially with Jon Moxley going after MJF, who is the hottest heel at the moment. And maybe AEW will have something with Darby Allin tossing me in the mid-cards, or getting him more main event stories. That's what I think. It was that match was the highlight. Next to Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho's debate.
I reckon they're going to team. Darby Allin and Moxley up in a few months.
Yeah, it looks that way. Certainly.
Yeah.
So lads, it's been a savage roundup. We're going to take obviously a 10-minute water break and come back and do a episode 6 of SummerSlam special. But listen, you can subscribe as always. As we don't have to, all the links are on the YouTube page. Just type in WrestleSlam. It'll pop up. We have the Undertaker special, episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as I said, we would like to thank everyone that's tuned in to all the episodes. I'm super thrilled that all the lads were here today, because it's the hottest day of the year. That's commitment at its finest. Thank you for tuning in to WrestleSlam. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for more episodes. So, lads, stay safe, and we'll catch you soon.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
Talk soon.